Oh, you ever thought this will only take 5 minutes and then realize that you were comically wrong? Yeah, well, welcome to Parkinson's time. You see, my body and my brain have, well, let's just call it a miscommunication issue. My hands, they're on their own schedule. My fingers are boycotting. My legs, they're just here for emotional support. Suddenly, what should take 30 seconds has now become a full-body strategy session. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how long it takes. Forward is forward, and we're still moving. So let's keep going. You got this.
Okay, so most people, they just tap on their phones and move on. Me, I try to open up one app and my phone opens up like 5. Trying to text, autocorrect turns, hey, how are you, into help, how are you? Swiping, hope you like random screenshots and accidental likes from 2013. And at this point, if I ever text you something really weird, just know that it was a team effort between me and my phone.
Falling asleep with Parkinson's, it's already a challenge. But then try to roll over, and suddenly you're in the middle of a full-scale military operation. You have to analyze the situation, trying to come up with the best strategy, then carefully shift your weight, slowly initiating the move, because too fast, the whole mission's compromised, and too slow, and you're never gonna make it. And when I finally make it to the other side, mission accomplished, job is done, the operation was a complete success. And then my bladder says, hey, since you're awake, let's go to the bathroom.
In a world where the ground feels shaky and memory is optional, 2 men will rise, armed with microphones, dry humor, and a suspicious number of pill bottles. They'll face tremors, stiffness, and the ultimate challenge, recording a podcast without forgetting what they were talking about. This is where Parkinson's gets real. This is Life in Motion, the Parkinson's podcast. Rated P for please take your meds first. Now, grab your earbuds, unless you forgot where you put them. Then just turn the volume up because today's episode is ready to go. Now, here are Bryce and Brian.
Hey, how many of you have always followed your doctor's advice exactly the way they've told you to? Yeah, me neither. Well, today we're talking about the gap between the doctor's orders and what actually happens in real life with Parkinson's.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Sometimes those orders sound great in theory, but in practice, not so much. We've got confessions, laughs, a round of Shaky or Fakey, and my new segment, expertly general news. And of course, we wrap it up with the Bryce-ism of the day.
Well, welcome back to Life in Motion, the Parkinson podcast. That's our live Sunday show, Brian. We're live. That's where we get real. We laugh a little, and hopefully we make life with Parkinson's a little easier and a little lighter. I'm Bryce.
And I'm Brian. I'm always, as always, the chat is open, and this show is just about, we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about the doctors today, but we're going to try and make some humor come along with it to keep you folks entertained and informed at the same time.
Exactly. And if you're watching live on YouTube, welcome. And if it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe and follow along because you know what? We maybe have a little fun, but you're going to learn something along the way. And I think that's really important. And Brian, as you can see, if you're on the video podcast, you can see that I'm a little different. I'm a little out of sorts. I'm a little
true.
I'm a little away from home. I'm in a
I
hotel
just noticed
room.
that.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I'm in a hotel room in Vancouver, Canada. And good morning to everybody who's saying it. And so anyway, I have my studio on the road. So bear with me in the comments as we get going here, because might be a little bit tricky as we get going, but we're going to do our very best. But Brian, I am so pumped for this theme. Like, doctors are incredible, right? Like, they're just incredible, but they don't live in our bodies, right? Yeah. They give us the best advice they can, but Parkinson's doesn't always let us follow the rules, does it, Brian?
No, it's like my doctor told me, get 30 minutes of cardio every day, which sounds great on paper, but in reality, some days walking from the couch to the kitchen is like a full-time workout.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Well, that's the whole thing right there. Like, I once had my doctor say, hey, Bryce, just avoid stress. Right? It's like, okay, let me cancel the traffic. Let me delete my bills. Let me have my house paid off, mute my kids, problem solved.
Yeah. And that's not reality by any means, right? So And it's not the advice they're giving us is wrong. It's just that it doesn't fit the daily grind. And let's face it, you're going through a daily grind every day. I go through it, and all of our listeners out there, same thing. That daily grind wears you down.
Exactly. So that's what today's show's all about. It's about that gap, the difference between the doctor's orders and the messy, funny, frustrating life of real life with Parkinson's. So how about this in the chat? Actually, you know what? I'm looking down the chat right now, and what's the temperature in Vancouver? What's the temperature in Vancouver? It's hot and sunny. Hot and sunny. I will. You know what? Maybe next week, Brian, we'll talk about this a little bit. But on my travel here, and maybe I can show some pictures next week. On my travel here, I got caught in a tornado.
Wow.
A little tornado. We were literally driving on the highway in Alberta, and our phones went off. That alert, that went off, and it said like you're in a thunderstorm area. And I looked up and I saw some clouds off to the left, and I went, "Oh my God, those look pretty scary." Hey, Carmen, why don't you take some pictures of that just for fun? Yeah. And then within about 4 minutes, we were off on the side of the road. There was nothing around. It was just pure wheat fields. And wow. I'll tell you what, Brian, that was one of the most freakiest experiences of my life. When you know it's bad when I've got my wife covered. I was over top of her in the console, and I was holding a pillow up against the window so it wouldn't shatter, and I could feel the truck being lifted up. And it's bad when you both kind of do your I love yous, right? Because I thought we were going to fly through the air. So very crazy experience. So to Dolores's question, it's sunny, and it's going to be about 29 degrees here, so I'm okay with that today. But anyway, wild week, Brian. I had a wild week.
That is crazy, my friend. Absolutely crazy.
Absolutely. So we will get in that. And good evening from Germany, 6 p.m. in Germany. Well, that's awesome. That's crazy, right? Right now, Brian, what time is it where you are?
It is 12:09.
12:09. It's 9 o'clock in the morning here for me. So this live was early. I had to get up really early, get my meds ready and get ready. So I've been up for a while. I'm pumped and excited.
What?
I was up early, man. It's like 9 o'clock. I had to get up. So when we hit our podcast, I'm trying to be at least on my second dose, okay, of meds. That way, because I want everybody to say he doesn't look like he has Parkinson's, right? So I want to be, Joe Cool. And so this morning, man, I was up about 4:30 just to try to get. I just took my meds just before we went on, so just to try to get it. But anyway, that's me. When we have a lot of people, that's just me. So hey, Clivey's in there. He's talking about dyskinesia. That's so awesome. Anyway, how about this in the chat? What's one piece of advice? Think about this now. And if you're on the replay, you're playing too. What's one piece of advice your doctor gave you that sounded good, but was almost impossible to follow? Throw that in the chat, and then and we can start a conversation here, because I think that Miss Lori loves Vancouver. I like it too. I got this funky studio. I'll tell you what, if the people come to try to clean my room and they open the door, they're going to think with this purple light in here, they're going to think there's what's going on in that room. It's like I got a whole thing set up. It's like, what happened? All right, now. How about this, Brian? Let's talk about. We'll give a couple. I just asked everybody to put, the one piece of advice in the chat that they've almost, found impossible to follow. And you and I get personal a little bit. We'll start with, that. So here's me, right? So,
okay,
my doctor told me not to take levodopa with protein, right? Right. Most days I don't. But picture this: family barbecues, burgers, steaks everywhere, and I'm supposed to wait an hour before taking my meds. Let's just say the cheeseburgers usually win, and that's where I get so many questions. We get so many about, well, when do you take how do you time your meals around your levodopa? How do you time your meals around your protein and stuff? And that's where I went back to my doctor and said, okay, I'm done. Like, listen, man, Brian, we've got Parkinson's. Can we not enjoy a cheeseburger or a steak without having to worry about what time we ate it and what time we do? Forget it. Forget. I was at a restaurant last night, and it was like, you wouldn't believe the plate they brought out. It was a steak, a piece of chicken, and it was and a potato. And I'm like, how? So, and it was yummy, and I was hungry, right, and it was so good. But I'm not going to be like, I gotta wait 10 minutes, or I forget it. I'm like, look at this high protein meal. So I said to Carmen, I didn't have to ask her. She was already reaching her purse, grab me one extra pill. I'm just throwing it in my mouth because I know it's going to go away. And so I learned to take.
Yeah.
I just live. That listen, I feel like this. We have Parkinson's is so crazy with us. Like, let's just still enjoy as much as we can enjoy life. So my doctor, I went back and I said, forget it. This whole timing pills around these stupid protein meals, I'm not going to do it. And I said, here's my plans. And he said, I think it's a good plan. Let's try it out. And I've been doing that for like 10 years now. So anyway, that's that one thing that the doctor said. And I tried. I mean, we want to be good boys, Brian. We want to follow the doctor's orders. We do. But there's sometimes I know my body better than the doctor.
Absolutely. And before I get into my story, I'll just pile on top of yours, because I too was out for dinner last night. Lori and I went back to Whitby for the first time. Wow. I had a whirlwind 48 hours. I was going to make a list of everything that we did stop to see, or who we had a conversation with. But at any rate, Lori and I finished off that whirlwind 2 days with a nice steak dinner at a really nice steakhouse in Whitby. And I looked at my watch. It was 5:15. I take my meds at 5:30, and I was like, so when the waiter comes, do I tell him to come back, 6 o'clock, so that I take my meds and just leave us alone for 45 minutes? No. I ordered the 14 ounce. Thank you very much. And I finished it. I finished it before 6 o'clock.
Right? Don't start off slow.
No la petite piece for me at all. But yeah, reality gets in the way, right? So, but we had a lovely dinner. But let's move on here. My story.
Hold on. I want to stick on that. Wait, one second. Okay. That is such a good story, because it's like, you're like, screw it. Like, bring me the platter, right? Okay. I'll deal with it. And what's the worst? Hey, what's the worst? You start to feel it going off. And like I said, let's say you're whatever it's going to be, you're half an hour later or earlier on your meds. So again, there's nothing wrong. And again, talk with your doctors and make sure, they're cool with this. But if I have to take my meds 30 minutes early from my regular scheduled time, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Set her up. Absolutely.
Let's go, man. Lock it down. Okay. Sorry.
You and I are lockstep on that one, though. Absolutely.
Well, that's years, man. You're talking like, this is 15 years. And the first 5 years, I was like, most of our viewers and followers were like, oh my God, no, the doctor said 4 times, and 1.5 pills, and and now when you get to about year 15, it's like having, Brian, you've got lots of kids. You got lots of kids just like me. And that first child, right? Yeah. Right, is way different than the second and third child, the fourth child, like that.
100%.
Right, the third child, it was like, it's like she's screaming, well, just do this. Like, you're so paranoid. You want to do the right things and you want to keep everything set. But once you get a little bit of experience, which corners to cut, and where you can make your life easier.
And I told you before, my parents had 4 kids. I was number 4, and they didn't buy the extended warranty when they got me. So that's why I've had the heart problems. That's why I've had Parkinson's. Yeah, all they had to do was buy the extended warranty, and camper would have been all right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, extended warranty. I love that. Okay, I just dropped my computer. That was awesome. Okay, cool. All right, Brian. Sorry, you go on with your story while I pick up my computer. I'm just going to duck down.
No, so at least it wasn't your coffee. Yeah. So for my story, the doctor told me to start running. I hate running. Like, don't tell me to run unless it's last call, or at a bar or an airport. I either got to get on the plane, or I want to have one more cocktail before I go home. But I'll run if I'm chasing a tennis ball or a pickleball or something along those lines. But just to put on a pair of running shoes and run, I'm not Forrest Gump. I'm not going to do that. But he said it was the best thing I can do for Parkinson's is exercise, and I agreed. So I tried it, and after 2 days, I pulled something. I don't even know. But my one leg would not. I was dragging it behind me. So I gave up. And now what am I doing? I'm back walking around the block because I'm injured. I can't go on the pickleball court. Like, I would have shape if he'd have left me alone.
I like that so much. That's so funny. I mean, God bless the doctors. Let's not get this wrong, but I'm telling you, you are the best boss. Look at Miss Laurie's like, hey, my doctor said try boxing. I don't do boxing. See, that's what I mean. Like, it's like eat
Yeah.
this. It's like, well, okay, not only do I have to have Parkinson's, I got to eat the worst stuff I don't like. I got to do all this crappy exercise I don't like. Find what works for you, and you kind of just adapt and do it. Right. I think it's funny, and I'll just, when you've had this long enough, and when I like, okay, so as an example, and I know I'm going to chase rabbits, Brian, you're used to me already,
I'll follow you.
we'll hang in there. When I remember saying, when I first got diagnosed, he said to me, my doctor said, and I love my doctor, so this, he's probably watching, and so I want to make sure that he's okay. And then, I said, or sorry, he said, when's your worst time? Like, when do you feel the worst? I said, when I wake up in the morning. And he goes, no way. This is when I first got diagnosed. This is 15 years ago. I said, yeah, it really is. Like, yeah. And he goes, no. It shouldn't be that way. You got your REM sleep. You got after your sleep. And I'm like, I'm like, no, it's awful. And he's like, well, that's unusual. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's unusual. No problem. And then about, I don't know, maybe 5 years later, right? I said something about the mornings. He says, well, that most people, are struggling in the mornings. And I went, is that fact? I mean, like, really? Like, really? Is that so now it's a thing, right? So it's like, again, I think if we we also educate our doctors, really, we do, right?
Oh,
Based
for sure.
on what we do. So I think that's, and if we're not experimenting or not trying different things or not trying to get the best, and I love where was it here? Miss Laurie here. I love this comment right here, and this sums my life up right here. And she said, hold on, sorry.
Yeah,
she said, I adjust to fit my meals sometimes. I'd rather take it early than be off. And
yes,
I'm telling you right now, I don't want to be off. I hate being off. I mean, that is like full blown Parkinson's, right? Like that is everything. So I'll avoid off like it's the plague. I mean, it is the plague, to be honest. And so I don't want to be there. So
no
I would
kidding.
rather adjust, right? Rather adjust than to be off.
Yeah.
And you know what? And if I go Brian hyper for a few minutes, I go Brian hyper for a few minutes. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. So another one for me. So my doctor, I remember this one.
Okay.
My doctor said, go to bed at the same time every night.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, doctor. Sure, that's easy. Except stiffness at 3 a.m. doesn't care, about my bedtime. It really doesn't. So I'm pacing the house while the rest of the world sleeps. And as I'm pacing the house, I'm going, well, gee whiz, you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is, Brian? My doctor said go to bed at at 11 o'clock every night. And I tried to go to bed at 10 after 11 because the hockey game was on late. It was playoffs. And now I'm paying for it, right? And I mean, it's just like, it's good advice. Try that, try this, try that. But again, not to get lost in that. Does that make sense? Like get lost in that advice and so black and white that it costs me. I mean, that's where I'm gonna cut it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And for me, my doctor was like, let's talk about your diet. You need to cut the sugar out. And I was like, it's not as easy as it sounds, I've got grandkids, and if they show up with ice cream and they say, Gramps, do you want a scoop or a bowl? If I said no, they would cry for an hour. He doesn't like my ice cream. You can't do that. That's a hard yes.
Brian, take me out. Like you might, like again, like it's like, you can't have sugar. You got to go to bed at 9 o'clock. You can't do this. You can't do that. Don't stop eating steak. I mean, what? Why am I trying so hard to be like? Why am I trying so hard to live? If living's gonna suck.
Yeah, if one more person tells me to go swimming, I'm gonna throw them in the lake. I hate swimming, and not only that,
my God,
wrestling with a wet bathing suit with Parkinson's.
Oh,
that's like a 2-on-1 wrestling match.
That's it. That's why I just go to nude pools. That was a total joke. I don't even know such a thing. But you're right. Yeah. Trying to get that wet bathing suit off is not the easiest thing.
No, it's an Olympic moment.
Oh my God, that is so funny. I don't know. Again, and I really hope if there's any doctors watching, this isn't a slight on you at all. This is just something that little things that you find along the way. But here's something I've learned, Brian. In all of that, it's that. Oh, let me back up. No, the sugar thing, forget it. My peanut M&Ms. I mean, they keep me alive. Like it's part of my
Right.
daily med schedule, is to be honest with you. But anyway, and there's a lot of people here that love swimming, Brian. So you're the odd man out on that. So
Always am.
Brian is waiting for anybody an invitation to go for a swim one day, and we'll figure that out. But anyway, here's a tip, or this is what I feel, right? So here's what I've learned: don't stress out about perfection, right? If you know you're eating protein with meds, plan around a shift or a timing. Like it's not about. How about this? We always talk about pill management and med management, but it's like real life management is what we need to. It's like, how do we do that? And don't stress out about perfection. If I'm a little bit like, if I have to adjust, I adjust, and it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. That's my kind of thought on there.
Yeah, and just to go back to this, I'm not an advocate who hates swimming. I like going. I like going in a pool, but I don't like swimming lengths, and for the same reason I don't like running. But if we go in the pool and we're going to play water volleyball, well, I'm going to put on an extra coat of sunscreen and 2 hats.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay,
and you can wear those volleyball hats. You see those water volleyball hats are the coolest. I could see you in one of those
with my red Adidas shorts.
Yeah, you have to have the Adidas shirt. Of course, the Adidas shorts are like the uniform now, Brian. I think that. But you're right. You know what? The same as me with running. You tell me, like there is nothing. And this isn't a hit on people that love to run, because I like people that run. But you tell me to go run a mile, like for what and why? Or like I find no enjoyment in that whatsoever at all. And so you have to find other ways and other things that are gonna help.
I respect those activities, and I respect the people that do it. I have a niece, as an example, who has ran in the Boston Marathon twice, and she's going for her third time, or trying for her third time this year. Every time I see her, because she's in Alberta, I always give her a big hug and tell her how proud I am of her, because I think that's amazing. But I'm not going to do the Boston Marathon anytime soon.
No, thank you. There's nothing in my body that tells me, like someone said, well, you never know. Once you start running, next thing you'll do the Manitoba Marathon. I'm like, what? Why? Why would I want to do them? I find no pleasure in that. I don't find hey, guess what? I did the Manitoba. I don't, but other people do, and that's wonderful. And if that's their 100%. Thing, that's their thing, right? And so it's just finding. I mean, we got to move. We got to do our thing. Like so you're pickleballing and golfing and all that stuff. That's like find what you like to do, and do it. Incorporate it in. And then we're gonna have that. We're gonna meet with that. What do you call them? A physiotherapist, who we're hopefully going to be able to record some of it, and she's going to teach us how to incorporate the right movements within what we like to do to get the best out of it for our Parkinson's. And I think that's
so when it comes to exercise, just don't try to force something that you hate. Right? If you hate running, you hate running. Find what the best exercise is, and if you only do 10 minutes a day, you're doing something, right? Maybe you walk around the block is 10 minutes. And mine's 25. Fill your boots.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? 100%.
Exactly. It's like this. Did an apple a day? Remember that one when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Did you eat an apple every day, Brian?
I tried to.
but did you beat yourself up if you didn't?
No, I moved on.
No.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We always did. We always moved on. Well, I don't know. I'm again, in the comments are going crazy, and it's so funny. Yeah. Everybody's now talking about I like this. Oh my God, here's a good one. Look at this. I got to put this one up. I was about to move forward here, but we're not. We're gonna wait on this one. This is a brilliant comment. So everybody's talking about swimming and all that kind of stuff. And then and then look what Lou says.
I love this one.
I'm not running unless somebody is chasing me with a knife or a gun. or a bear,
bang on, exactly,
or an alligator.
If there's a bear chasing me, I only got to outrun you, so I'm okay.
Oh Lord! And then this one goes, I'm going to try pill. Hey Dolores, don't get Brian or Miss Lori started on pickleball, because we will be here all day. Look at this. As soon as I said it.
Pickleball is
addictive. Dolores, you got to be careful.
And Lori, you're sorry.
Oh my God. Well, listen, we love the way that you guys are interacting in the comments, and that's great. And if you're on the replay, make sure that you as well play along and give us, put that prompt in there, because there's so many things that I think others that are watching can maybe feel a bit of relief, right? Feel a little pressure off, if that might be the right thing. Or Brian, know that they're not alone, right?
Exactly. Yeah, as importantly, for sure.
I mean, that's the biggest thing that I find as we do these programs, and when I watch the comments afterwards,
Mm,
it's always like, "Hey, thanks, thanks for sharing that. I thought it was just me, or I thought I was alone in this, or I was feeling guilty or bad that maybe I wasn't following my doctor's orders, explicitly. And is that a
yeah.
bad thing or a good thing? But you know what, Brian?
Uh-oh.
I hope you're ready.
Here we go.
All right, this is the hotel room version of
Get ready for the only game show where the stakes are low, but the side eyes are high. It's time for Shaky or Fakey, the game where one fact is true, one is totally made up, and Bryce and Brian pretend they studied. Will they nail the neuroscience or flunk the funk? Play along in the comments and see if you can beat the bros. Let the Shaky showdown begin.
You know what I just realized? That's sort of true. It says where Bryce and Brian pretend to study. I don't study, but I know you do. So we'll change that around where Bryce pretends to study and Brian studied. How about that?
So I got to be the expert journalist.
Well, you know what, Brian? You listen. You just can't put that title up underneath you without proving it out. That's why we
100%.
invented this challenge, to show your way. So guess what? Belinda's like, Yahoo, let's do this. All right. So this is I'm gonna ask Brian some questions, right? And they're either gonna be a true or false question, or something that's actually happened. If it's true, it's Shaky. If it's false, it's Fakey. And we want you to play along. Please put the number down, like number 1, and just put Shaky or Fakey, and then we'll see how you do and see if you can beat Brian. Brian did really well last week, and so did Miss Lori. Miss Lori, who's in the chat there. Thank you. Welcome back.
She went toe for toe with me.
You guys knocked it out. It was like a ringer, man. It was intense. But let's get into
We were
this.
8 out of 10. Like, that was huge in my opinion. I applaud Miss Lori for her efforts.
And you know what? Everybody's getting into it. Donald over here. You know what Donald said? Donald's like, I've been studying.
Attaboy, Donald. Donald listens. That's good.
So you can see that when we put the thumbnail up, and you'll see what the title of the show that's coming up. So you saw this with this thumbnail, and it would be like, hey, what the doctor says that do and not to do. Then start thinking Shaky Fakey, and then it's like, okay, I better study around this topic. Like, it's true or false. So, all right, here we go. So play along with us. This is question number 1. It's going to be either true Shaky or false Fakey. And here we go. Doctors. Oh, this is a question now. Doctors always recommend that people with Parkinson's avoid caffeine because it worsens tremors. Question number 1. Shaky is true, Fakey is false. Doctors always recommend that people with Parkinson's avoid caffeine because it can worsen tremors. And I'll give everybody a chance here to kind of absorb that. And here we go. We're off to the races. And, it looks like we got Shakies and we got Fakies. Oh, now we got another Shaky. We got a Fakey. Brian, they are going in, and it's going around the block. We've got a lot of Fakies. We've got a lot of Shakies. We've got, oh man, I mean, it's you know what? It's a holy moly.
If I remember correctly, because I remember talking coffee on one of these shows earlier. And I know you're a big coffee guy. I think that's a Fakey.
You think that's a Fakey? All right. Well, if you are a fan of the show or the other podcast, I always make a joke, and I say this. When I got diagnosed, my doctor said, I don't think I want you to quit smoking. Okay. There's some things that are good and some things that'll help your tremors, and something or help your tremors, and some that won't. And the 3 were drinking, alcohol, right? Yeah. Smoking, caffeine, and sex. And I said, this is the best disease that I could have ever gotten. And that's my joke. You are absolutely right. That is absolutely Fakey. You said Fakey, right, Brian?
I did.
Yeah, Fakey. Here's the thing. While caffeine can make tremors more noticeable for some, research also shows it may lower the risk of developing Parkinson's and doesn't universally need to be avoided. There's actually some studies out there that it actually can help you. So, so you're 1 for 1, right, Brian, right out of the gate. Look at that.
We got a lot to start off that way. I love it.
That was a good start. That was a good start. Okay, here we go.
Bring it.
You ready for this one?
Yes, sir.
Question number 2, everybody. Speech therapy exercises only help if you do them daily. Missing a few days makes no difference. Speech therapy exercises only help if you do them daily. If you miss a few days, it makes no difference. Is that true,
So
Shaky?
it says you
or
have to do them every day,
F
but
Fakey?
if you miss
Yeah.
a few days, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So
They're kind of
Have-
contradicting themselves.
have you done well? So maybe I worded this wrong. Let me see if I can say this better. Speech therapy exercise only help if you do them daily, right? So
Yes.
if you end up missing a few days,
Yes.
it makes them null and void. Like it's not going to make a difference in your end journey. Does that make sense?
Got it. That makes
I should have said that way. So
I got it.
and we got we got some shakies and we got some fakies in there. So yeah, so if that makes sense. Have you done speech therapy before, Brian?
Haven't actually.
Okay, it's really good, man. I'm a big advocate of it.
You'll have to look into that. I don't have a connection. I'll have to figure that out.
All right. Okay. Well, we got a lot of shakies and we got a lot of fakies.
I'm gonna go Fakey.
You went Fakey?
Yeah.
And the answer is, everybody, question number 2 is Fakey. Consistency is everything. Even skipping a few days can set back progress, especially with volume and clarity. And I will tell you that exactly. That's you nailed it. That's fantastic. Speech therapy is really great, but it's all about building that muscle. And the second you stop moving that muscle, it's like you didn't do it. It's wild. Okay, here we go. Question number 3. Brian's 2 for 2, everybody. Come on now. Anybody else is 2 for 2, just put a thumbs up in the thing and we'll see how many people are tied with you. Here is question number 3.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
This is out of the comments. Either this is someone had actually made this comment,
Or you made it up.
right? Or I made it up.
Okay.
My doctor once told me to avoid stress, so I got rid of my smartphone. Best 2 hours of my life. I love this one. My doctor once told me to avoid stress, so I got rid of my smartphone. Best 2 hours of my life. Is that a true statement, a true comment, from a viewer or a listener, or did I completely make that up? So again, if that's a statement, it's shaky, or did Bryce make? If Bryce made that one up, it's a fakey. And as we coming in here, so and look at Donald is tied with you. Donald got a thumbs up from Donald. Donald, so he did. So Donald studied. Now let's Donald. Yeah, last time Donald said like this is awful, and then he said he was the fellow that said I studied, and now he's 2 for 2 with you. So we got a lot of one answer, and then we've got a couple of the other, and I'll leave it at that. Brian, question number 3. What do you think? Did someone say that, or did Bryce make it up?
I'm gonna go Fakey.
You're going Fakey?
Yep.
So you think Bryce made that one up?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I did, Brian. That sounds just like me, doesn't it? But it really was a comment. It was
so simple. I thought that had your name all over it.
That's why I put it in there, because it was all me. Like I quoted exactly what it said, and it made me laugh out loud. Like at LOL, I LOL'd. I laughed out loud because it was like best 2. I went, cover your smartphone. That's really good. And then best 2 hours. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That was probably an hour more than I would have been able to make it. So that was fantastic. So that actually was shaky. So we actually, so now you're 2 for 3, Brian. If anybody's 3 for 3, put a thumbs up there and we'll see who's beating Brian. But we're moving on to question number 4, I believe it is, right?
Yep.
Question number 4. Here we go. Physical activity. And this is interesting because we were talking about this at the top of the broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Physical activity like boxing. Oh, Clivey's 2 for 3, Brian. He's tied with you.
Right on.
Oh, Donald is 3 for 3. Donald has taken the lead.
Way to go,
Everybody else is what? See, now, if you were like Donald and you studied, you could be like Donald and be 3 for 3. Here we go. Physical activity like boxing or dancing can actually improve motor symptoms in Parkinson's, not just overall fitness. Physical activity.
I'm going Shaky.
Oh, he's jumping right in with Shaky on that one, folks.
Yeah.
That's the next question. It's physical activity like boxing or dancing can actually improve motor symptoms in Parkinson's, not just overall fitness. And I'm going to give everybody a couple seconds. Here comes the shakes, shaky, shake. So here's what I did, Brian, and everybody listening, watching. I knew that last question was going to trip everybody up. So I came with the next one with like a little, here's an easy one for you, just to feel better because of the last one.
So you lobbed it over the plate instead of.
Oh, so yeah. So that is absolutely shaky true. Studies show targeted exercise can improve balance, walking, and even slow progression of some of the symptoms. So boxing, dancing, all that kind of stuff, right? Okay. All right. Well, was that question number 4 or 5?
It was. It's 4. I'm 3 for 4.
All right. Well, here we go. You're 3 for 4. And this is question number 5.
All right.
You ready?
Is this the final question?
It could be.
Okay. Depends how you feel. I get it.
It could be. All
right. You love wiggle room.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. Question number 5. At one visit, the doctor gave me a diet plan with so many rules, I thought I was training for the Olympics, not managing Parkinson's. At one visit, the doctor gave me a diet plan with so many rules, I thought I was training for the Olympics, not managing Parkinson's. Is that a true comment from a viewer or listener? That would be Shaky. Or did Bryce make that up, which would be Fakey? And
I can't say my doctor doing that to me.
No.
Not all doctors are the same.
Not all doctors are the same. That's very true. They're not all the same. Has your doctor ever talked to you about nutrition or food or things like this? Is it a big subject with you? No.
Nope.
No, he just assumes you know how to eat.
I can prove that. I'm going to go Shaky.
You're going Shaky? Do you think that was a true comment? Guess what, Brian?
4 for 5.
I made that one up. And I thought I messed it up because I thought I put Olympics in there, and I thought, oh Lord, I sometimes do that all the time on those my morning Parkinson pick-me-ups. A lot of times it's like I got a Olympic sport, and I thought I blew it up, missed it. I completely made that one up, and that was Fakey. So, that
3
was
for 5.
That 3 for 5. Well, that was going to be the final question, but I have one more as a bonus. Just for people that are feeling bad or
you
feeling
get this
good.
one right, you're the winner. That's how you play it, right?
This is how we go. This is the big bonus. Like this is the tiebreaker. This is the one that if you get it wrong, Brian, I win, and if you get it right, you're gonna tie. Look at this. Donald's 5 for 5.
Man's a star.
Brian, and Clivey's 4 for 5. Look at them go. This is a tight race today, and okay, Donald, this is it. Say it 100. I would love to see a dietitian. Me too. All right, here we go. Here's the question. My doctor said to exercise every day. So I counted moving the recliner lever as my arm workout. So my doctor said to exercise every day. So I counted moving the recliner lever as my arm workout. I think that's hilarious. Oh my God. So because I could actually see myself doing this, Brian. I could actually see myself doing that. If the doctor says, if I had to bring back, if I had to like write down everything I did, I'd count like getting out of bed as exercise. So we got it really is true. And getting out of bed without like pulling a hamstring in exercise. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you something about that in a second. Okay. I can tell you about that stuff.
All right, I'm gonna go Fakey.
You are going Fakey. You are going Fakey. In the comments, we got some Shakies and we got some Fakies. And Brian, you're right. That was completely fake. I made that one completely up. I was laughing at my own joke, which is almost kind of sad. But anyway, that was Fakey. And there you go. And so Clive, you know what? I think you, Clive, and Donald all tied. I think. Out of like 5 out of 6. Were you 5 out of 6, Brian, or 4 out of 6? 4. I think Donald might have won. If you were in the comments, let us know how you did. Donald, I'm going to have to study hard. Donald, now look at this. Donald's like, I'm going to have to study harder. I got 5 out of 6.
Oh, there we go.
Right. Clive is 5 out of 6. Deborah's 4 out of 6. Oh, living with Parkinson's is 5 out of 6. Look at you guys. Boy, there was like
you know what? I love this. I want everybody to have these kind of scores.
It's amazing.
It means we're getting the word out. People are doing their homework. You know, they're reading up on this stuff. I think it's great.
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble.
Oh my God, that's so funny. You know, and you are so right about that. And that was a really fun episode.
I like that one.
I did too, Brian.
That was a good Shaky.
That's it for this round of Shaky or Fakey, where the facts are fuzzy and the fun is fully intentional. Think you can do better? Sign up to be a guest and take on Bryce or Brian in a future showdown. Just follow the link in the description, and you might be the next contestant on Shaky or Fakey. Cue the awkward outro music.
Man, I'll tell you what, there's nothing like having a studio on the road. I'm juggling computers all over the place here. I'm trying to figure out where everything is. I apologize, Brian. I didn't mean to cut you off on that last one.
No, it's fine.
All right. Well, let's get back into our subject. But before we do, we get back, I wanted to some more confessions. So we're going to talk about some more confessions about where we don't listen with our doctor. And Dr. Hobson, if you're watching, that's my doctor. Please, you can go away and after this next segment and not hear my confessions. But before we get into those, it's time. It's time, Brian. It is time for Brian's Expertly General News. We started a new segment last week, and where he takes the complicated stuff and makes it sound, well, general. Brian, what's new this week?
I think I've got a great topic here. Today's story is about adaptive deep brain stimulation, and or it's known as ADBS. Now, most of you know the regular DBS electrodes that are implanted in your brain and deliver constant stimulation to help you with tremors and stiffness and movement issues. Well, the problem, it's always on, whether you need it or not. And that can mean understimulation or overstimulation and side effects. It's like having a light switch with one setting. So today we've got a Parkinson's breakthrough that feels like something out of science fiction, but it's real and it's happening now. The U.S. FDA, this was last week, had just approved a new adaptive deep brain stimulation technology that can sense and respond to brain activity in real time. So it automatically delivers tailored electrical impulses to suppress Parkinson's symptoms as they arise. This is huge. Unlike traditional DBS that delivers a constant stimulation, this smart system, as they call it, detects brain signals tied to symptoms like tremors or stiffness. It immediately adjusts stimulation via algorithms, either fast or slow, to maintain control. It's Bluetooth enabled. It's allowing software control and future personalization. Clinicians are already exploring AI-enhanced versions of this that could tackle not just motor symptoms, but they're hoping also non-motor challenges like mood or sleep disruption. This is being done by a company called Medtronic and the researchers like Dr. Simon Little. The system uses different modes. Fast attacks symptoms right away, slow keeps your brain in a balanced state, and it's wireless controlled, and eventually AI could tailor the response to each individual even better. So you could almost it's like a snowflake. You'd have your own mold, if you like, for how they're going to manage and treat you. So why it matters is it's smarter, it's safe for symptom control than ever before. Has potential to reduce side effects and medication needs. Wow. It's a step toward personalized 24/7 brain therapy with future versions, which may tackle non-motor symptoms, like I said before, with like anxiety and sleep. So from static stimulation to brainware tech that adapts in real time, it's pure future. If that's not a motivation to stay hopeful, I don't know what is. And here is the most up-to-date picture on the solution being available. So in the US, as I mentioned, the FDA has approved this, and it's available now. Programming and implantation have already begun. at selected U.S. health care centers, and they're continuing to roll it out nationwide. As for Canada, the adaptive DBS is not yet commercially available, but important developments are underway. Medtronic's system, BrainSense technology, which enables recording of brain signals and more personalized therapy, has been received at Health Canada several years ago to get the licensing. However, this version does not include the closed-loop adaptive stimulation capability that the new FDA-approved device offers. So they are looking to pilot some clinical trials here in Canada, actually at the University of Toronto. They're beginning to enroll, they had begun enrolling patients since the middle of 2024, and they're continuing to move through that practice. The bottom line, the USA is FDA approved. Canada, is a work in progress, as I had mentioned. And then, a fun fact here is I'm actually going for my own DBS evaluation on September 19th. And I'll be bringing this up to the folks at Toronto Western Hospital, where I'm going to find out more. And I'm also going to continue to monitor the adaptive DBS here and how it is making its way through Health Canada for approval.
That's incredible. The idea of our brain, your brain, basically telling the device what it needs, like that gives me hope. Like that's really cool.
Yeah,
Really
cool. It is kind of like science fiction, and I hope I wasn't too detailed that people kind of got glossed over. I try to keep this, to pull out the simple
it's good
language, if you like. I'm trying to, give it at a grade 5 level if I can, versus a university level. So if I can't pronounce the word, I don't include it in my notes.
Why not? I do. I make it well. I'm like, what?
You're a braver man.
I just go right over top of it. It's like, okay, I don't get it. But you did, Brian. Thank you. That was amazing because I mean, let's put it this way. I understood it. And if I understood it, that means probably 90% of everybody else understood. So no, good job on that.
Thanks.
Let's keep us updated on that.
I will.
And journal that, and I think as some people know and don't know, I've in where I'm from in Manitoba, Canada, there's a 3-year waiting list, and everybody said, thank you. Awesome. So good job on that. We're at a 3-year waiting list for DBS. I've come up on it 3 times. I just came up again, and my doctor's like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "No." So I've turned it down 3 times, but back on that waiting list. But I appreciate it. And my biggest excuse was, I don't want to do it today and get like the VCR, and then next week the CD, the disc player comes out. So I mean, I'm trying to wait as long as I can for that technology to come out. So I appreciate those updates, and I think that it'd be great if you keep us up to date on that. And I wouldn't mind if you even, when you go, take your phone with you and then ask the doctor, "Can I ask you a question?" And then just turn it around and like film the damn thing and let's put it up here if they're okay with it, just to see if it's really good. That'd be really cool. So whatever we can do, it's very promising. I love it. There's things coming around that the bend. Anyway, it's really cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and just another side note for you, Bryce. On the board of the Parkinson's Canada is a doctor from Toronto Western. So when I was at the board meeting that we had just before the summer, I guess it was in June, I searched him out. I almost felt like a stalker chasing a celebrity.
You were cyber stalking them.
Like I didn't even let him put his fork of food in his mouth that I was down his throat. But anyhow, I apologize as I did that. But I did have a quick chat with him, so I do have a contact there, and I will ask if he's in the day I'm going. And I have connected with him on LinkedIn, so I do have the ability to contact him, and I'll send him a reminder note the day before I'm going in. Just hey, remember I said I was coming in for my DBS evaluation. Hope I can see you, or maybe you can pop by and say hello, because I'll ask him, no problem.
There you go. All right, well, let's do that, and we'll make sure that we'll bring it back.
I think I'm leaning into your camp now with respect to waiting, because if they're doing it in the U.S. and we're coming in behind that beachhead, it's not going to be a 5-year thing I have to wait for. It's probably not 5 months, but it's probably a year even. Like, okay, I'm good with that.
Well, that's it. Yeah. So here's the thing. When I said to my doctor, and I said, no, I think I'm okay. Like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait longer, right? I'm going to wait it out. And And he said, okay. And then, but I think I mentioned this before, but I said, but if I'm being ridiculous, like if I'm being silly, you tell me,
Right.
right? You'll tell.
Exactly.
And he said, well, he said, yeah, if you say no, thank you, and I go, no, Bryce, it's time, then I will tell you that. I'm like, great, because I guess the bottom line is, but here's the other side of it, Brian. I don't want to suffer. I don't feel like I'm suffering enough,
Right.
if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
if I was, and when I am, I'll because it's always going to get better, right? There's always going to be the next thing, the biggest thing.
Yes.
With technology, it's always going to get better. But when it comes to me, it's almost like being off, right? Like if I'm going to
Yep.
suffer, then I'm switching. Like give me the next round, because I do not want to spend the good years I have left suffering. That's it. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, I want to travel. I want to do those things that I can still do, right? And,
Yeah,
and we've
100%.
we've done shows on travel, so I know what to do and what not to do, so to speak, right? And,
Yeah.
and my wife Lori is exactly where you're at. She's like, let's just hold on here. I don't think Brian needs that right now, and so I've got her as a check and balance on the sidelines as well, right?
Absolutely. And the other thing too, my doctor told me, and it's funny because even like Dolores says, in retrospect, I'm glad I had, and that's exactly it. I mean, what works, it's exactly whatever it's best for you, right? So like whatever is the best,
Yeah.
place for you to be, and I appreciate that, Doris, too. And here's the other thing too that I'll say, you might ask them, Brian, is
Mhm.
how long's the waiting list, right? And
Yeah.
when I get up to that point, can I go on the waiting list? When I get to that point, what happens if I turn down to go back on the waiting list? And the other thing that my doctor told me is that even though I'm on the waiting list, if I come to him tomorrow and say, okay, that's it, I'm ready to go, I
They'll
can
put
always
you
go
in.
on the cancellation list. I can always go, you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like they can fit me in. So,
Okay.
anyway, it's it's a personal choice for people, and it's for some it's a hard choice. For some, it's a very easy choice. I know in the inner circle they're talking about, Poodaloo. They're saying that they're glad it, and I've never met anybody that had DBS
Same.
that said they were bad, they were mad they got it, or they disappointed. So,
Agreed.
it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if we can find a damn cure, that's even better. But but the reality is it's better than nothing. So anyway, so that's that. Anyway, good job on that. Look at that. We created a whole bunch of you got a bunch of stuff rolling around there, and that was really, really well done. So
Thank
let's
you.
go back though to this is our confession time. This is our
Okay.
confession time, and in the in the comments, make sure you put your confession too. What is that one things that you don't do that the doctor tells you to do? I'll tell you one thing that he remember I said earlier that he was like, in the beginning, my doctor was kind of like, well, no, the mornings should not be hard for you, like that. The
Mhm.
thing, right? So he said, well, here's what you want to do. Maybe when you wake up in the morning, I want you to stretch. I want you to get up and stretch. And I'm like, okay, but I can't get up in the morning without my pills, right? And then he's like, okay, well then after your pills kick in, then you get up and stretch. And man, I'm telling you, listen to this. In the morning, I'm lying in bed and I'm taking my pills and I'm lying there waiting for them to kick in. And I got the countdown into my head going. I'm like, oh, come on. Could this be the day? Would this be the day that they'll kick in within 10 or 15 minutes? That would be fantastic. But I'm
Yeah.
always around that 25 to 30
30
minutes,
minutes. Yeah.
right in there. But I'll tell you what, if I've been lying there staring at the ceiling for 30 minutes, hearing my phone going off, people are putting comments, and I'm like, I'm not, well, let me get up and stretch. No, thank you. I get up and let's go. Like I can finally move. So I want to move,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's when I totally went the other way on that one.
Well, your doctor would like me. With the move that we just went through, I really wrecked my back, and I have a back problem anyways. And I soldiered through for about 3 weeks, and finally I said I got to find a chiropractor. Now, having moved, I had to find a chiropractor. Like I'm not driving an hour and a half back to Whitby to see a chiropractor. At any rate, I found one. He's done a great job. But what I started to do, because my back was really busted, I actually do a stretching regiment every morning, first thing.
Do you really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 30 minutes. I build in some chair yoga, but I because I've got a bad back, I had these things that either a physiotherapist had given me or a doctor or whatever, but they were all over the place. So being the
can you imagine
guy that I am, I laminated about 7 or 8 pages of exercises, highlighted the ones that I wanted to do. I used my iWatch and I set it for 30 seconds. So, and I'm just clipping through because it keeps me on point. And
Absolutely.
it's about 30 to 40 minutes every morning, and it's making a world of difference. A world of
That's
difference.
That's amazing. Good for
Yeah.
you. That's amazing. That's amazing, 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 amazing. Just a comment here. How late? There's a comment here. How late is too late to register to come see you in Toronto in October? Hey, guess what? I'll be in Toronto in October. Brian's going to be there too.
Yeah.
And so, but PDIQ Toronto, October the 18th. Registration is open now, Donald, and anybody else. And they are still a little bit of seats left. I mean, the registration is going out of control in
You know
a
what the
great
capacity
way.
is, Bryce?
Capacity, we're trying to figure out with the fire marshals what that
Yeah,
is
exactly.
right now, right? But it's between 800 and 900,
That's
somewhere in
huge.
there. And we just opened registration, I think, about a week and a half ago, and we're at 600 right now.
Wow.
So it won't be open much longer. If you're seeing this live, then I will put the link in the description this, about 5 minutes after we go live. You come back and look at the description. I'll put the link in there, and you can register there. But it's a free event. Free registration. It's all day. It's Parkinson Canada is putting on in conjunction with Michael J. Fox Foundation, and I am the keynote speaker, host, and moderate some panels. And it's a great day. It's a beautiful, beautiful event. And so I'd encourage you, if you're anywhere near Toronto, come out and visit us. And there's a few. Quite a few inner circle members coming, so I'm sure we maybe might plan something to really get together. So if you want to come out and say hi, make sure you say hi, and maybe we'll all get together while we're out there. So anyway, that was like almost a commercial. That was almost a commercial break for that.
That was excellent.
But I will put that in there. So it's called PDIQ and you in Vancouver. Or sorry, in Toronto. I'm in Vancouver. In Toronto, October the 18th. Here's Zedman said at 4:45 a.m. I take my dose, 30 to 45 minutes for them to kick in, and then hit the stretching. So, okay, that's exactly right. So I guess I'm the bad person here. I'm the one. You guys are all stretching, and I'm okay. Here's the truth. You guys were stretching, and I'm answering comments on YouTube because there's so many comments on. If I don't start at 5:45 in the morning, I'll never finish. So I'm working. You guys are exercising, and I'm working. Anyway, there it is here. Maybe I could run over from the UK. Absolutely, Clive. You could take a run. That would be amazing if you want to come on over and see us. That would be great. I know there's people coming. People come from the United States. It's just it's a great day, and you're in a room with probably 600-700 other people with Parkinson's, and we have movement disorder specialists there. There is a physiotherapist, speech therapist. It's a great. I can't say much more about it. It's fantastic. Okay, where were we here?
We just did a rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly. It was really, really good.
So we were on confession time. I think it's up. It was my turn to.
Oh yeah. My confession, I didn't stretch. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So mine is caffeine. I was told not to overdo it, but if I don't have I don't drink a lot of coffee, but I'll have a tea or a coffee. Typically a coffee. I like that one a day. But I have to have it. I go from stretching to the coffee pot. That's 1A, 1B. Because if Brian doesn't get his little bit of caffeine, he's a cranky guy.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have this saying that if we're together in the morning, right? Let's say we're out at PDIQ on October 18th, and we're together in the morning. I have this rule that says. Whatever I say before my first coffee, it doesn't count. It doesn't register.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
It's warm up.
I can't be trusted. I don't even know what I'm going to say. Wow. That's so awesome. Donald's like, he's like, hey, anybody want a carpool? He's lining up from Rochester, New York, and, jump in and go.
Nice.
And will Toronto thing be live streamed? Unfortunately, they don't live stream it. I wish they would, but they don't. So sorry about that, Lisa. What I will do, and I did that last time too, and I'll do a better job of it this time. For those that can't come, I'm going to do a kind of a live behind the scenes. I'm going to walk you through it a little bit.
That'd be great.
So yeah, as best I can anyway. And maybe Brian could do the same too. We could kind of counter hit
it and conquer. Yeah,
it'd be really cool. So okay, so let's go back. Okay, so again, we'll get away from that for 1 second. So here's the one thing I don't do. Here's one thing I don't do that I should do, and this is such a bad confession, but I think I do enough of it. Remember that question that we did in Shaky, Fakey, the speech therapy? So I again, big believer in speech therapy. I did the LSVT loud. It's all about talking loud, and it really is like it's a very repetitive thing that you do every day. Every day you do like these exercises. It's kind of like exercising. It's exercising your throat muscles and your speech muscles. And my decibels went really high and was great. And I'm feeling so good. And so I came out of speech therapy like literally doing it every single day. Like I'd get up in the morning, do my ahs, my e's, ah,
Nice.
you did all these things. I repeat them. And unfortunately, I find it really, I struggle to do them every day. And I wish I would, but I don't. So I guess that's a rule I'm breaking, even though I don't want to break it. Does that make sense?
Percent.
You know,
But
I
you
don't
got to
know.
be accountable to you first, right?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. And so, I guess what I'm trying to say is this, and here's a tip. Here's a tip. The key is knowing which rules are critical, right?
Right.
Like meds and safety, right? And where you can give
Yeah.
yourself grace and you don't need to be perfect are the other ones. And so I threw that in there about speech therapy because it is one that I don't do, but I know I should do. And I am breaking that rule that is there to help me. And so that's just a little tip where I kind of feel like as you think about these things, so we're not advocating, some of the things that doctors that are imperative to you for you to do, imperative for you to do to live a better life and to have a better sustainability, if that's the right way to say it,
Mhm.
is it's knowing which ones those are, right? Knowing which ones are no, I cannot waver from this, and the other ones that say, hey, I'm going to experiment with this. And I think that's really where you have to do your homework and make sure that you understand it.
Agreed.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and for me, it's balance exercises are the same for me as your speech therapy, Bryce. If I skip them, I feel it fast, and balance is so important to our day to day.
It
So
really
important.
is.
Yeah.
It really, really is, Brian. And that's the thing. I'm going to, sorry, Brian, if you could, how about this? Is there anything that you don't do that you should do? Like on that daily basis? And I'm going to put, while you do that, I'm going to grab this link because everybody wants to get it. And I'll
Yeah.
put it in
Go
so I don't
ahead.
lose it. But I want, talk about to that.
Yeah. So where I'm delinquent is in the cardio, and it's not by design. It's I'm 65 this year. My body's getting worn out, and I'm finding it more difficult because I do a move and my back went out, and like that's not an overnight fix. I went to the chiropractor 6 times in the last 2 weeks, and I've got 2 more appointments this week. But I can finally say, knock on wood, today is the best my back has felt in months. So I'm going to kick myself in the ass, pardon the expression, and I don't have 40-degree temperatures like I had 2 weeks ago. I don't have the bad back as bad as it was. I'm getting out and doing my walking. Like I'm in a new area. I would say I'm in a new neighborhood, but I've got 2 neighbors. So I'll walk to the end of my street and back, and that's probably a 2 to 3 kilometer walk, which would take me half an hour, 40 minutes. Like it's not that bad. So yeah, I'm just going to do it.
Good for you. And
Just
you know
gonna
what?
do it.
And you got a lot of people in there that are doing the same thing. They're saying the same thing. So it's so true. Just do it. Let's no excuses. Let's go. Right. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Here's the event. I put it in there. You can copy and paste that and find the link to do that. Would be great. And you're welcome. And you're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. So
All
now
right.
let's get back again. It's like get off that commercial. But here's the big lesson. This is the real takeaway right here. Right. Doctors give us a map. This is how I think of it. Doctors give us a map, but Parkinson's is full of detours. And
Yeah.
sometimes you take shortcuts, and that's okay. Truly, it's okay.
No, it's true.
Yeah, the key is the balance, right? You got to know when to adapt, when to go. And that's why we do this live, Brian. We do
Yeah.
it live to share how real people, right? Real people are figuring out, right? Not just what's written in the pamphlet. And you see in the comments, it's not just Brian and Bryce. I mean, we've got some tips and some tricks, but what we actually really do, Brian, is we just stimulate the conversation. We stimulate the brain to think, I could do that differently, or I could figure this out a little differently. And I think that's what really, 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 really is the difference in that. I really do.
Yeah, and just because we're Brian and Bryce that are doing this podcast doesn't make us perfect. I'm not doing well with my physical cardio stuff, and I'll admit it in front of however many people are on this podcast today and listen to it as a recording afterwards. Brian Campkin needs to start walking.
And you heard it live. Brian Campton needs to start walking. Let's get him walking. And you know what? Only I know is that I'm perfectly imperfect. Okay, I just can't be, But I'll tell you what, that leads into the Bryce-ism. You want the Bryce-ism? I got a Bryce-ism for this one.
Yeah, I want it.
All right, here it is. With Parkinson's, the doctor writes the prescription, but life writes the fine print.
That's your best one yet.
How do you like that?
I like that. That resonates.
There you go. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for indulging us with us today. And I'll tell you what, if you've laughed, you learned, or if you felt a little less alone, hit the subscribe button, come along for a ride, and share this with somebody who needs to hear it.
Yeah, and keep the conversation going in the comments. We read them. You heard Bryce. It's what he's doing while he's lying in bed, getting himself ready to start his day. But we read them, we really do help others who come along later. So, yeah,
that's so true.
Please take advantage.
So true. And we love you guys. We love you guys. We love you guys. You guys are the most amazing people. You're our viewers, and we just love you. We really do. And until next time, remember, keep showing up, keep laughing, and keep doing life today. And we will see you next week. Brian, it was fun. I'll see you next week, my friend.
You will.
All right.
You did it. You made it through another episode of Life in Motion. That's 20 to 30 minutes you could have spent folding laundry, Googling your symptoms, or rearranging the 14 pill bottles on your nightstand. Instead, you hung out with Bryce and Brian. That's friendship. Or questionable time management. Either way, we're grateful. Be sure to follow the show, leave a review, or just yell, "I have Parkinson's and I'm fabulous," into your backyard. We'll hear you. Probably. New episodes drop regularly, unless we both forget. Until next time, keep laughing, keep shaking things up. And if you find our train of thought, please return it.